Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for this is going to be a 2022 jumpstart reading. We're going to see how you can get a jumpstart on the year. And I will be doing, people have asked if I'm going to do the full-on 2022 readings. And yes, of course, I will be doing full-on 2022 readings. But this is just like a little jumpstart thing. 22 readings I'll have out like sometime in December, as always. I pretty much do yearly readings every single year. But let's see here, Scorpio. Scorpio, this is a beautiful reading. Really, really nice energy. I just want to, sorry, if you see me looking up, it's because I'm trying to, I got to learn how to get this in frame. But we'll figure it out here, Scorpio. But this is a really nice reading. You have this Be Here, Be Now card. Kind of funny, because this would suggest that you probably shouldn't get a jump start on the year. Although I don't think that's true. I do think it's asking you to be present and to kind of like enjoy the moment. This first row is amazing. You have the Chariot, the Empress, the Nine of Cups here. Really beautiful energy. I mean, the whole entire reading is nice. You have the Lovers, the Sun card. I mean, these are very positive cards. So I would just be present. I would focus on being present as well with this energy. I think it's going to just be kind of like a good thing. Having the Two of Swords here as well as your center card here in the middle, it's kind of interesting. I like, and you have this Feeling the World card up here as well. It kind of is like making me feel that some of you, it's just asking you, I feel like it's almost asking you this Here and Now card, like this person is sitting in the middle. You have that Feeling the World card. You have the Angel in the middle here of the Lovers card. The person in the middle here on the Two of Swords. You know, it kind of gives me those vibes of, I think the whole Be Here, Be Now, Be Present type of energy here is just saying, a lot of things happening in the world, a lot of things happening around us. Don't jump to conclusions. Kind of take a middle ground approach. Look at things and see how you feel about them. I think we're in like this very reactive time, right? Where people just jump to conclusions. People just react about everything. And, you know, I'm not saying that certain things don't matter. But what I do think is that the universe is trying to get us to say like, hey, let's take a breath. Let's look at the things that are going on around us before we react, before we jump to a conclusion. Then we can make an informed decision. But also for you, I feel like this is saying in your personal life, like instead of reacting to things, like taking a moment to just look at like what's going on in a situation. I feel like not only will it help you avoid mistakes, right? Because there's a lot of enthusiasm here. And I don't want to crap on this reading here, Scorpio. There's a lot of enthusiasm, really good energy. But it's like sometimes when we're very enthusiastic, we can ignore warning signs or we can ignore certain things. So I feel like it's just saying, hey, you know, just slow things down. Just, you know, if something good comes into your life, be like, hey, this is awesome. This is great. But just look at it. You know, I don't think you have to be paranoid about this. I think you just need to look at things. If something bad happens in the world, I feel like you just need to slow things down and just like look at it and say like what are the facts here, right? And for some reason, I think that's going to be very important, probably because it's going to give you a lot of opportunity here. You have the Chariot, the Empress, the Nine of Cups. This is like a lot of abundance, a lot of opportunity. And the word I'm getting is fulfillment, which we get here with the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is all about kind of fulfillment and happiness and wishes, good things coming in for you. This is like one big victory is what I would say to you, Scorpio. I also feel like you're very attractive at this time. I think I said this to you in your last reading. I mean, 2022, I do feel, is a really good love year for water signs in general. You could be coming off as very attractive, but you could also just be attracting people into your life like more easily. I think what it is for water signs, and definitely for you, Scorpio, is just like where we are, meaning I think that there are just going to be a lot of opportunities for us to be in situations that could lead to love. Like, what I mean by that is it's like there's probably going to be more opportunities for water signs to socialize, for example, in 2022. It's like, obviously, for socializing, there's going to be a good chance that you're probably going to meet people. If you meet people, the more people you meet, just like it's a numbers game, you're probably going to have more opportunities for love, right? There's going to be more opportunities for water signs, I think, to move and travel. So it's like if you've been hoping to move, for example, it's like if you move and maybe you live in a town of like 10 people, it's like obviously if you move to like a city, your chances of meeting a person go up. And that's kind of, that's popping into my head very strong here, is that you're increasing your chances. I would also say, not just in love. I think that this first row is saying that you're putting yourself in situations that are going to increase the likelihood of you being successful. And I think this is like kind of like there's an element of luck here, right? Especially with the Nine of Cups, a very lucky card. But I feel like you're paying more attention to situations where you can get lucky, basically. It's like maybe you have a business. It's like I always tell people, it's like if you're in business, maybe there are opportunities for you to go to a trade show or for you to go to a meetup of other people who are also in the same business. I would be taking advantage of those opportunities because, again, I feel like there is just a greater, I feel like the abundance that is coming in here, sorry, with the Empress card, I feel like the abundance that you're getting it's like you're increasing your chances. And I think for you to get a jump start on 2022, it would just be a really good time for you to look at anything in your life that you're wanting to increase and say, like, how can I increase my opportunities? How can I give myself more chances? And again, I feel like things like networking, being around other people who do things that you want to do, all that stuff is going to be really, really good. With the Chariot, you have the World, so makes perfect sense to me. I do feel a lot of you could be moving here. You show up right here, actually, as the Phoenix in the top left-hand corner of the World there. Traditionally, you were the Phoenix in astrology. You were not the Scorpion. And so you show up there on the World card. The World card is a card of accomplishment and accomplishing things. So I do feel like there are a lot of accomplishments coming in for you. With the Empress, again, remember what I said, like, pay attention to the warning signs here. I think people are too dramatic about the Seven of Swords. There are a lot of people who actually consider it to be a positive card because it kind of is. It's a really good card. He is handling all five swords, right? There are two swords behind him, and he's handling those swords by their tips. It kind of like says that to handle situations delicately, handle situations carefully. Remember what I was saying at the beginning of the reading? It's kind of like a warning sign message that I was getting. I don't think it's like anything bad. I think it's just saying kind of like keep things in perspective. When we get over enthusiastic, sometimes we can not pay attention to the details. Again, not a bad thing. We don't have to worry about this. We just have to say to ourselves like, hey, you know what? I'm very excited about this opportunity that is coming into my life. Like, let's also just pay attention. We don't have to be paranoid freaks about this. We just need to say to ourselves, like, hey, let's, we can be excited, we can be enthusiastic, but let's also make sure we're not missing out on, important things. He also has polka dots all over his shirt. Polka dots in the tarot represent needing to not take things too seriously, needing to be playful, needing to have fun. So very important here. I also look at the Seven of Swords with the Empress as like, handling something delicately. Empress can be a card of pregnancy and having a baby. That is popping into my head, by the way. Some of you could be getting pregnant. Obviously, if you're not trying to get pregnant, I would be careful with that energy. If you can't get pregnant, this message is not for you, obviously. And the Seven of Swords, like, obviously, if you're going to handle a baby, could represent handling something delicately, right? But that's what I'm getting there. With the Nine of Cups, you have the High Priestess. So definitely could be Pisces coming in for some of you. Now, this whole bottom row here, you go over to the Page of Cups. So, this could be a Pisces that is entering into your life if you're looking for love. Also, what do you know? She is sitting in between those two pillars. They have a B and a J on them. And to me, they can represent a lot of different things. They are actually the two pillars from outside the Temple of Solomon, but to me, they can also represent kind of not going to one extreme or the other, right? Needing to take a middle ground approach. Popped into my head that was going to be super important for you this year, and that's what I would say here. Next, you have this Feeling the World card. So I do feel you could be feeling the things that are going on in the world on a very deep level. With this card, and again, this is probably why the reading is like saying don't jump to extremes, because there's probably going to be a lot of stuff that's going on in the world, and I would just say don't jump to extremes. You have the Lovers, the Two of Swords, and the Page of Wands here. I definitely feel that if you are getting into a relationship here, or if you're looking for love in 2022, I would be ready for an adventure. Let's put it that way. This is probably going to be something you've never experienced before. This person here they're sitting with their back to an island that is behind them. I always say the Two of Swords kind of represents leaving where you have always been and going somewhere where you have never been before. And so I feel for those of you who are looking for love, I do feel like there's love coming in for you, but it feels like a little bit of like an adventure. Feels like a little bit more spontaneous. This reminds me, I call these onion readings because it's like when I get an energy like this, to me, it's one of those things where you could end up with a person where it's like just when you kind of think you've got them figured out, they kind of like reveal another layer. And this is not in like a deceptive, manipulative way. That's not what I'm referring to here. I'm referring to just someone who has a lot of layers, someone who kind of is very multi-dimensional, right? And I even feel that for some of you, you could be attracting someone where it's like you are dimensionally, connected here with the Lover's card. So it could be a very deep connection that is coming in for you here. It's weird. I'm getting the word telephone popping into my head as well. I don't know why that's important either, but I keep getting something about telephone or phone. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Maybe, whenever I get those messages, I always clear them, and if they come back, they come back. But something about telephone, maybe this person wants to talk on the telephone. It could be something, it could be a long distance relationship, I feel, as well. But there's something about the phone here. Again, I feel like that could be a difference. Like maybe instead of texting, this person calls you, which like nobody does in 2021 or 2022. I'm sure people won't be doing it very much in 2022 either. So again, that's popping into my head as important for some reason. With the Lovers, you have the Six of Swords here. Moving on to calmer shores, I do feel like relationships are improving. I've been talking about this for a very long period of time. We have a lot of astrology that happened starting in the 70s. What happened in the 70s? Divorces went through the roof. What's going to happen now? Divorces are going to drop. There's a couple of reasons for this. Number one, I do feel like less people are going to be getting married in the future. I think people will be together. I think people will be in relationships. But I think the whole marriage thing is going to be changing. But I also think that the people who do get married, if you want to get married, that's fine, right? If the people who do get married are probably going to be getting married for the right reasons, mostly because the astrology is changing. I think people are becoming more authentic as well. And so it's like that's the change that I think the world is going to be experiencing as far as love is concerned. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. But again, you could be meeting a person who's like stepping into that energy of being willing to change and being willing to step into this new relationship energy, right? So that's kind of like what I get there. With the Two of Swords, you have the Four of Cups here. I feel like you just need, if you want love, for example, I think you just need to see that things can be done a different way. Pretty much everybody has been getting this type of energy at the end of the year here with the Four of Cups. I do feel like a lot of us have been disappointed. Again, old relationship energy. Four Cups is like saying you need to allow yourself to be surprised by new relationship energy here. So I do feel it's going to require us to change in the sense that we just need to realize that things have changed in relationships, even if it doesn't look like it, because the old type of energy still exists. It's like, for example, if you have dated a bunch of players, that's the example I always use, right? If you've dated a bunch of players, it's like that energy still exists. So you still see it, right? It's like you still can see people who are still players. But there's a new energy of people who won't do that. That energy has always existed, but I feel like it's just like different in a way. I don't know. I can't explain it, but what I would say is you are going to have to look for the new energy. You're going to have to look away from the old energy, but it exists. I also feel, it's like, look at this. Empress, without even clarifying, the Sun. Empress, Seven of Swords, Two of Swords, Four of Cups, Sun. This to me is, a pleasant surprise is what I would say to you. That's what I kind of feel like saying that about your entire reading, actually, Scorpio. I just feel that your reading is more a pleasant surprise. I don't really feel it's like necessarily talking about anything. I think it's just more talking about like a pleasant surprise here. With the Page of Cups, or the Page of Wands, you have the Six of Cups. I mean, soulmate. Six of Cups can just represent a soulmate that is entering into your life. So I do feel like there could be a soulmate that's coming in for you. Even here, we have the Page of Cups is pointing towards the Six of Cups here, Scorpio. So I do feel that there could be a soulmate coming in for you if you're looking for love. Kind of weird. I didn't intend for these readings to be about love, but like all of them have had a focus on love, which is weird. Next year could just be a loving year, which is a good thing. Great. There's nothing wrong with that, right? And I also feel like it's because, like, I don't know, people have been bored for, like, the past 2 years because of COVID. And so maybe people are just looking to connect, right? Next, you have the Elixir of Life card here. I feel like this is something that you are discovering. Amazing. You can't beat that. Sorry, I just want to. Okay, we're good. But yeah. So again, I feel like this is something you're discovering, like the elixir of life, something that makes you feel alive. And we really see that here with the Sun card, because the Sun card is the card of vitality, and vitality is like what gives us life. But I feel like you're discovering something that gives you life, something that gives you warmth and abundance and the opportunity to grow, which again we see here with the Empress going to the Sun over here. You do have the Ten of Wands and the Page of Cups here. I always say, to me, the Ten of Wands can be a card of a burden. It can be a card of carrying a heavy burden or carrying a heavy weight. I also feel like it is not a bad thing. It's like he is going towards a village. He's about to put his burden down. And sometimes we do have to put in extra work to have something good in our life, right? So I don't necessarily look at it as a bad thing. The other thing that I'm getting here is it's like, you could see something that is the elixir of life for you here, Scorpio, something that fills you with life and warmth and vitality, and it might require a lot of work. But here's the thing with the Ten of Wands. Nobody else is willing to do it. So it kind of represents you maybe building something or creating something or having something that not very many people have in their life. It makes you very unique. And you have the Page of Cups here. So definitely could be love coming in for you. Again, if this is a person who's coming in for you here, with the, what was I saying? The elixir of life thing, I was saying something here about the onion, right? I feel like this person, that's what I mean by fulfillment. Like, I feel like this person that's coming in for you could fulfill you on multiple levels just because they have multiple levels. Does that make sense? Like, that's how I'm seeing it in my head. Like, I feel like because they're so complex as a person, it's like it could be someone who's very fulfilling to be with them, and that's a good thing. There's nothing, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But let's see where this is going here, Scorpio. With the Ten of Wands here, you have the Justice card. The juice is going to be worth the squeeze here, Scorpio, is what I feel like saying. Justice card is about balancing things out, and also, by the way, all about taking a neutral stance in life. If we can't, hit that on the head any longer, all about taking a neutral stance, which we've talked about this entire reading, but all about balance. With the Sun, you have the Death card and the Temperance card. Both cards wanted to come out there, so more balance, but also the Death card is your card, and the Sun is rising between the two pillars that are on the moon in the background there. So I definitely feel like you're undergoing a positive transformation. And with the Page of Cups, you have the Two of Cups here, Scorpio. So definitely a perfect match coming in for you. This is like a soulmate reading is what I would say for you. For those of you that are looking for love, I feel like there is a soulmate that could be coming in for you here. Again, if you're not looking for love, I feel like really it's very simple advice. I feel like it's saying take that middle ground approach to everything and don't jump to conclusions. I think sometimes, again, if we're like too excited or too angry about something, it's like we miss out on the opportunity. We miss out on the thing that we could do to like fix a situation or, whatever the case may be, right? So I feel like for you to have clear vision in the year of 2022, for you to see what you need to see, then I feel like no overreactions, basically, because that'll just give you the opportunity to see everything in front of you. It'll give you the opportunity to see a solution, right? It kind of reminds me, I'm not making a political statement here. I want to make that very clear. I do not believe in politics. I don't think we need, reptile aliens basically controlling our lives. That's what I believe right now that we have. So call me a crazy person. I don't care. But what I would say here is that, I don't believe in politics or anything like that. But whenever anything happens, like what's everybody's first reaction? Everybody's first reaction is like, let's pass a law to fix it. The problem is, do laws really work? No. The answer is no, because people break laws. So as I always say, it's like the reason we have laws is because we don't have solutions. It's like we can't see a solution if we have like this massive blown out reaction about every little thing that happens, right? And I feel like this is extremely important for you. Some of you could literally be changing the world. I mean, you have the world here, but it's going to be by coming up with a solution instead of like a reaction. If that, I hope that makes sense, And that's like what I'm really feeling here. But this could also go for like your business or your job or whatever it is that you do. It's like I feel like there are going to be those moments. And trust me, like, I'm not like some angel. Trust me, like I have major reactions all the time, right? So it's like, I'm not trying to preach here and or anything like that. But what I am saying is, like, I feel like, kind of taking that middle ground approach will have you coming up with really, really good solutions in 2022 for yourself, for other people, and maybe even on a global scale, which, we definitely need right now, Scorpio. So I would pay attention to that. But really nice. I like this. Very beautiful energy. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your year.